Welcome to WP Theme Tutorial, episode 28. Today, we're going to take a functional-based plugin that I built called Post Tags and Categories for Pages and turn it into a class-based plugin. Before we get started with that, I want to draw your attention to a book I wrote called Becoming a WordPress Development Professional. It will walk you through kind of a general best practices overview. So if you're kind of starting out with themes or you're starting to dig into deeper, bigger projects, then this is a great book for you to get. It's just over 100 pages long. It's $29 for personal use, $39.99 for agency use, and agency use basically means just give it away to your employees if you want. We talk about organizing plugin code, how to query posts, template files, CSS, mobile themes, how to double check your code, documentation, action and filters, and community involvement. If you're an advanced WordPress programmer, you're probably going to pick up some workflow tips typically. But yeah, if you're just starting out, you'll learn how to do AJAX calls, deal with your JavaScript properly as well. So today, I said we were going to take a functional-based plugin called Post Tags and Categories for Pages, and we're going to turn it into a class-based plugin. There are two posts you need to read if you want to know why, and they're linked in the show notes. One is called How to Write a Basic WordPress Plugin, which it just walks you through building a functional plugin, and this is just a really good primer on how to do that. And then the second one, this is over at Hardcore WP. The second one is called Using Classes as Code Wrappers for Plugins. And their second one, they basically do what we're going to do. They take the plugin from the first tutorial and turn it into a class-based plugin. So I'll give you a demo of what my plugin does. You can see here we have two posts. Post 1 it has no matching tags or categories. It's got uncategorized as a category and another tag. Post 2 has test category and test tag. So I'm going to command click on those to automatically open them in a new tab. And what you see here is that we also have a test category page. And with the tag, you'll see we have a test tag page. So if I jump back into the admin and go to my pages, what you see is under Quick Edit is a quick way to do it. You see I have a test category, so I've allowed the built-in WordPress taxonomies of category and page category and tag to be applied to pages, not just posts. Let's start by, now we'll jump into some of our code. And yeah, this is just a basic functional plugin. So we call a couple things on init. We register taxonomy for object types to add our taxonomies to our products or to our, to our other post type of page, and then we adjust our queries. So we'll walk through this now. The first thing I'm going to do to turn this into a class-based plugin is build a class. So we're going to call it class post tags categories for pages, and that's it. And I always terminate mine with comments as well, thanks to Mr. Tom McFarlane. So the next thing we're going to do is call function construct. Now construct was automatically called inside your class all the time. So this is where we're going to start by. Now construct is automatically called every time inside your class. So this is where we're going to put all our actions that we want. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start by taking out our initial init action, which registers these, and then we're going to adjust it to call inside. So we no longer have to sandbox our function names. So you can see I had used, PT CFP taxonomies for pages, because we're now taking it and building it as a class-based plugin. I can just paste that in there, and say I want to do terminating. This was written before I did terminating comments as well. And so now, what I've done here is I've taken my init action and I've put it inside my class now. So we're still doing the exact same thing, and all I'm doing is registering my taxonomies for pages. So let's jump back into the admin and make sure that we still have these. test category page, and we don't. And do you know why? This is something that actually caught me a couple days ago too. I was trying to register widgets and I just couldn't. So anyways, we'll go ptcfp equals new ptcfp. We have to actually initialize our class. So basically I had written the code, but it was never being called anywhere, so it doesn't matter. So now I'm actually initializing my class by calling that. Now we can refresh. And there's my categories. I probably spent 30 minutes trying to debug something with a class simply because I forgot to do that earlier this week. So I've got that. And we're also going to actually use git, because this is how I develop the plugin. So we'll pump git over here, and I'll increase the size. Use git add -p. I'll put a link to a tutorial on git add -p, and basically this allows me to do commit in chunks. So the first chunk is, you can see my class. I hit yes, and I want to load that, and yep, I want to load that too, and that's it. So I've now staged all the hunks. I'm gonna git commit. I go -v, because -v brings up, you can see below all of the changes we made. And I'm going to say and the editor there I'm using is Vim. That's my default editor for messages. So I really actually probably should have busted out a new branch for this and called it feature classing or something like that, but I didn't, and I'm just not going to bother now. So we've done it with the one. Now what we need to do is grab our next function. I'm going to grab my next two. So my tag archives, what it does is it takes in WP query and it gets tag and it sets a post type on it. So I'm just telling it when you click on your tags, I want to get all post types that are available that have that tag, as opposed to simply post is what it normally does. And I'm going to also clean this up because I don't want that anymore. And same with this. And I'll show you what that function I just deleted was. So I'm going to grab these two. And delete. And then I'm going to clean them up by taking out that bit at the beginning that prefixes. And then I'm going to take these two actions. You'll see there's that one function at the bottom. That's part of what I deleted earlier. So I'm going to delete those two. And here's my two actions. I'm also going to go as well as bring this better up to WordPress coding standards by adding some more spaces in there. So with these two, these actually call, and I need to, here's a nice thing about why I love using Vim. Do a highlight, all from the keyboard, go array, this, there you go, I did them both. Well, that's giving me an error, and that's because I don't have a terminating second brace to wrap my array. That's one of the reasons I love Vim. Although I use PHP Storm day to day, it doesn't allow you to do some of this stuff like the column editing I just did. And I know that Sublime Text does, but it doesn't let you do it from the keyboard very well. So I'm torn is the short version. So again, all these do is take my pre-get posts filters for category archives and tag archives, and it calls these two functions, tag archives and category archives. So again, all it is doing is exactly what it did before. We've just put it into a class, which means we can drop the name spacing. And I'm going to save, so when I go back to my site and we refresh, we're going to test category, test tag. And you can see we have a test category page and a test tag page. So it worked. Awesome. Now I'm going to open up terminal again. I'm going to go git add-p. And yeah, I want to add that chunk right there, that hunk they call them. And I want to add that as well. And that's my tag archives function that I added. And that's the removal of those two actions right there. And that's it. I'm going to do git commit. And I'm not going to do -v this time because I know what I did. So I'm going to say I moved pre-get posts filters. So that last line, I didn't actually show you me doing that. So I removed those calls. You saw me delete them, but I'm going to show you what it was actually calling now as well. So we go right down to the bottom of my plugin. You can see I have function pt cfp print r data, and all that does is allow me to pass in any data or an array and print it out between pre-tags. I still do that, but I don't bundle it in with a plugin like this anymore. What I'm actually working on, I should have brought this up before, is on GitHub. And I just took me straight to my profile. And I really should have gone the other way, but WPTT development. And so this actually this is a plugin I'm installing now on client sites and on mine that has a printr function right inside it. It does a couple other things. It can log all your emails for you by replacing the WP mail function. Now it won't activate for you to start with. The pluggable function order is included wrong, so you actually have to comment this line 29. Sorry, not 29. What is it? It's right at the bottom. I don't know. You have to comment the one line that calls this one right here. That one right there, right? It calls the class log email because it has a conflict with the other pluggable function. So it works once it's all up, but you have to do some editing, and that's something I hope to repair in the next couple weeks. So now we have our class-based plugin, and actually I deleted that one thing too, didn't I? So we'll go back to terminal. I'm just going to git add dot and then git commit, because there's only one thing I did, and I know that. So there you go. That is it. It all is working. I suppose I should do one more refresh since I did remove that other thing. So go test tag, test category, and you can see that we got our test tag page and our test category page. And if I hop into the admin and go back to pages and a quick edit, and you can see I have tags and categories still on it. So the plugin is still functional. That's it. So today we converted a functional plugin into a class-based plugin. I'll still do one or two more cleanup things. I'll bump my version number here to 0.1. I can delete this to-do note. And I don't even know what those the to-do notes mean anymore. So I'm going to do a commit on the two things I just changed first, and then I'll delete those to-do notes and do a little bit of cleanup, and then I'll push it out to the WordPress plugin repository, and it'll go up to Git in a couple minutes as well. Thanks for watching.